Hi, I'm Brett,
I am Corey.
And I'm Daniel.
and this is the podcast where we talk about everything horror and horror related.
From stories to books, movies, music, and television.
And anything else around the culture of the horror genre. And with that, let's talk horror. Hey, guys. Yeah, we have another special guest this week joining us from somewhere. I'm not sure where you're at currently. I know you've been all over the place lately, but we have Michael Leavy, one of the writers and directors from the new Stream movie that's been out the last few weeks and kind of hitting the world where we can see it.
And big brother to Jason for our guest from our last episode. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. Tough act to follow, I guess, with Jason. I'm reporting to you from New York today. Actually, been all over the country a little bit promoting Stream, but back home in New York for a little bit, and happy to be on with you guys today.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much for
coming,
having us.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can jump right into the Stream if you'd like. I know that's what everybody's probably asking you about anyway. But yeah, I mean, we all went opening night premiere here to go see it. We loved it. Thought it was great. But yeah, I know you've been making appearances all over the place, following you on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. But seems like they've been keeping you busy.
So
Yeah.
where did I'm sorry, where'd the concept for Stream come about? I mean, obviously you were involved in a lot of different things, including the Terrifier franchise. But what made that idea pop in your head?
It was something that I just in my head I just kept wanting to do something in one location, and I kept seeing a family and a story about a father trying to protect his family for many years. In horror, obviously we love our final girls, but I just kept saying, hey, it's usually action movies or 80s action movies where it was like the hero, the dad, and I says, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a male lead in a film where he's trying to protect his family and do it in one location. So that's kind of like the start of it. And I kept thinking about this driving in the car scene, which is funny, that never ended up making the movie. About the family on the way, and they get tired and they pull over to this hotel. So that's kind of where it started. But then as it started to be developed, and this was in 2015, 2016 time, era, we started to really hone in the story, and we kept going into what was happening at the time, which was the cryptocurrency, and then that kind of led us down the route of the dark web, and wanted to definitely modernize and bring the slasher genre to the 21st century. And it was something that, and I don't know if Jason had talked to you guys about this, we had kept discussing what makes horror scary. And it was like they exploit your safe spaces and they kind of make you question and make you think about them. So, Jaws, it was a day at the beach. Halloween, it was your own neighborhood. Nightmare on Elm Street was your dream. Psycho was the shower. Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th was Camp Crystal Lake. So we said, what is something that everybody does and everybody can relate to, but also has a lot of questions, has a lot of unknown, but also people for some reason feel safe around. And that was technology. That was the phones, the internet, the computer. So that's really where it started from there. And then it really started to snowball, as we started kicking around ideas.
I like the concept of the different players, and as the leaks started to come out leading up to it of the different people, I kept on thinking, oh, there's going to be a player 5, there's going to be a player 6, and that was what I was expecting. But no, it was full of surprises. We all thoroughly enjoyed it. Some of the best kill scenes ever on film. Congratulations, sir! You killed it with that. Really enjoyed the arcade scene. Me personally was jumping up and down, clapping, shouting. I loved it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I enjoyed the Danielle Harris scene a lot.
Yeah.
Huge Halloween fan. Huge, huge, huge. Always followed her. Always loved her. But that scene was fucking amazing, man.
What's funny too with that scene, just to quickly touch upon it, whereas as the movie comes out more, because there's still a lot of people who haven't seen it yet. It was a limited run in theaters. It's still playing in some places. But a lot of the masses haven't been able to come out and see it because it was such a far distance for them to go. So obviously, we're looking for a big digital launch and a digital release, which is where this thing is meant to be too.
Can't wait.
So a lot of people see it, but in that regard, but to not give too much away, there's the scene where she's in the chair. Just want to talk about that for a second. Haven't told anybody about this, so this is the first time I'm even talking about it. Because again, don't want to give too much spoilers away. But when she grabs the pen and goes up and it bounces off the mask of one of the players. That was a nod to Halloween. Jamie Lee
Uh-huh.
Curtis on the other end of the couch, who everyone knows was Jamie Lloyd's mom, right? And the stab in the neck where they got Michael Myers through the rubber mask, and it was
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
our killers are stronger and more ready for so it was a nice nod, and to have Danielle in that scene, we talked about it. She was like really like, oh, that's cool. So there's a lot of that in Stream that I think as more horror fans see it and the more we're able to discuss it and the more rewatch that it has, people are going to pick up on for sure because it really is a horror movie made by horror fans. We're all horror fans that really love the genre. And to answer your question about the players, that idea came from the video game world, where originally it was the multiplayer was 4 players. First it was 2, and then it went to 4. And it was like the PlayStations and the Xboxes. It was that 4 quadrant screen, and that the colors were blue, green, yellow, and red.
Red.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of where that all came with how the eyes light up and which player had which eyes, and how they were labeled. So it really was tying into that, that kind of model after the video games for sure.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed it a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
yeah. Being video game junkies growing up too. Yeah, I get that.
And we can definitely tell that you guys are horror fans from the stuff you've put out, and as horror fans ourselves, it does come through because there's, I mean, the over the top gore, and I say that in a very good way, and also the element of humor. I talked to your brother about this, about not, how do I say, not taking it, not making light of it, but not taking it too serious at the same time. Like it's a gruesome, horrible kill scene, and then but there's like an element of humor to it somehow. That I think that the best horror always has a little bit of element of humor to it, and you guys walk that line perfectly.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of horror. I'm a huge fan of comedy. It's nice to mix them in a balanced way because I think a successful movie gets all the emotions out of you, and it's kind of like a roller coaster with peaks and valleys. And any project I'm a part of, or any film that I'm either producing or directing, I want it to be entertaining and for people to come out and say, "Wow, that was fun." And again, even though the kills are gruesome and gory and crazy and creative and whatever, you're right. There is a level of lightness to it, I guess, if that's the word, because it is fantasy. It is, it's not dealing with something so heavy as maybe the Jeffrey Dahmer taste when you watch that, or the one where they stitch everybody, the Human Centipede. I don't know. You feel like you have to take a shower after you watch those films. With ours, even though we are gruesome and it makes you think, there is a fun aspect to it, to where you can root for the killer, or you can root for the hero, and just have a good time yelling at yelling at the screen.
Definitely, definitely. And I love the throwbacks, like you said. I mean, the cast alone. There's so many legends of horror films of days past, and just little nods you gave to some of the characters, like using their nickname from another movie or their name from another movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It's all there. And like a few people had seen the film, which is amazing. Like 6 times, somebody told me they saw it in theaters. They like went like every night that first week. And they were like, every time I watch it, they're like, it has rewatchable value. They're like, I noticed something else. And that was cool. And that's something that I always try to do with my films, that you're not going to catch something the first time. You might not catch it the second or third, which, a lot of filmmakers might not say don't do that because you don't know how many times people are going to watch it. But I like you to have a new experience and take something away each time you watch it, to where it's only going to enhance it. You know what I mean? Where like you can watch it once and, hopefully enjoy it and feel great about it. But if you watch it a second or third time, you'll get something new and say, wow, okay, now it's even cooler than I thought.
That's always the best kind of horror movies to watch.
If I watch a movie once and that's it, then I probably didn't like the movie.
Right.
I mean, if I like a movie, I'll watch it over and over and over and over and over.
Agreed. Same. I'm the same way, and so I like being able to give a little bit more, or, there's a specific foreshadow thing that happens. Again, really a spoiler, so I won't say it, but somebody had messaged me after watching it for the second time and says, "Oh my God, like you just spelled everything out. Nice touch." And that was cool that they actually it registered the second time around, and they caught it.
Yeah, we've been trying not to give too much away for people, but yeah, there were definitely the post credits and the end scenes. Yeah, got us excited to see where it goes.
We can't wait for number 2.
Yeah, the second one's going to be awesome, and you guys are going to blow up as soon as it starts streaming. You're going to blow up. I mean, just looking at the progression that the Terrifier movies have done. I mean, it was just this little film that he actually turned me on.
Yeah.
And I watched the first one and I liked it. And then the second one came out and it was even better. And I'm looking forward to October 11th for number 3. That's going to be awesome. A whole different spin on the Christmas theme.
Yeah.
I mean, Silent Night, Deadly Night's one of my favorite horror movies. And it's because it was the first one that I remember growing up that like was centered around a Christmas theme. So I mean, that's the whole vibe that I'm picking up from it. And with all your movies, you have this kind of retro 80s vibe that you put in from the music, the soundtrack, just the little things that you put in the movie, even like some of the wardrobe and stuff. It just puts you back into that time of our childhood when horror movies were like king.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we grew up loving, and that's why we emulate it. You know what I mean? Because it's the stuff that we want to see up on the screen. And to your point too about hopefully if we get a sequel, like you know, if the fans show up and they discover it more and more, and they demand one, well, definitely we have ideas. We want to do them, and that's really what we went in with, a plan of not giving away too much of the game and how it operates, because again, we want to reveal this hopefully over a course of a few movies if we get lucky, and show a little more, and then also adapt and change as it kind of goes and grows with the times as well. You know, we have some really cool ideas that I hope we get a sequel or sequels to touch upon, because if you thought Stream was crazy, you know, and just to touch upon what we've done with Terrifier, it's gonna, you know, level up and level. It has to, you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
never let our fans down, and we're always working hard, and you know the wheels have been turning. So I hope we will be able to do one, and to hopefully do one soon.
Also looking forward to Screamboat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a fun one, and it's gonna be something different too that I don't think anybody's. I mean, look, it's gory. It's got some gore to it. Obviously, anything that we're involved in is gonna have some of that there. But it's a lot more humorous than I think most people are going to expect at first. It's got a really cool story. It's a fun movie again, that as the films I like to do, and it's different. It's really a satire too of kind of on even the horror genre, and even on the tropes, and on the cartoons, and of you know Steamboat Willie. And so there's some really cool things that we tried to do and experiment with, and we teamed up with the guys who did the Mean One. And I went to high school with the director of the Mean One, and we were always looking for something. And you know, he had success with that, and we've had success with Terrifier. And it was like, hey, why don't we do something together and use your world of camp, and you know our world of gore, and you know certain levels of storytelling, and kind of come together and do something. So I think we have something really fun that if you just sit back, you know, bucket of popcorn, you know, and just really just dive in. It's going to be a fun ride.
Oh yeah, we can't wait to see it. So, who was your favorite horror icon growing up?
It's a tough one. I always bounce. It's a tough one.
Slasher. We'll go slasher.
Right. That's even. It's all the same. I'll tell you this. It fluctuates sometimes between Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers. Love the two of them. However, the movie that got me into horror, and again, I mean, I've hundreds of them over here, is Leprechaun.
I
love Leprechaun.
I love Leprechaun.
Leprechaun's a great one.
I mean, I have so many like little Leprechaun toys and things. Like I collect like. Yeah,
so
this is from, like
nice.
the first run in '93. They were giving these out in the theaters,
Oh,
and
dude.
Yeah.
so I have so many little, you know, nods to Leprechaun. So it's tough. But then I'll tell you, even as I got older, I saw it at the right age. I was like 7 or 8, I think. Stephen King's It, the original with Tim Curry.
Yes.
And I mean, again, say what you want about the film or the miniseries, the Tim's performance
Phenomenal.
is unbelievable. Yeah, it's so good. So
It
he's
is.
up there, and you know, to work with him, and this was truly a dream come true, and really incredible, and somebody I've always idolized and wanted to work with for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. That's when we saw he was involved. It's great. And like you said, Leprechaun was one of my favorites growing up as well. When I saw Oswald, I was like, oh my God. And then his
Oh, right.
name. Yeah.
And his name, and
Yeah.
you know, it's funny, he was in retirement. He had only come out to do Leprechaun Returns.
Yeah.
And it was because it was kind of doing that, what Halloween did and what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre did, where they kind of go back to the roots. and they tried to do it with Warwick Davis, but Warwick, was kind of not doing horror at the time. But Mark Holton came back to do it, and he was retired, and he was really planning on being retired after that as well. And then somehow we got in touch. I think I saw him at a convention we were doing, and we just hit it off. And I told him how much Leprechaun meant to me as a kid growing up. And I said, look, I got this cool role in this movie. It's a janitor maintenance guy, and would you be down to do this, to be a part of it? And he read the script, and he's like, look, I don't do acting anymore really, but this looks cool. And he sounds fun. And now I'm happy. I think he's gonna be acting again. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, could always use another Teen Wolf at some point.
I don't think Michael J. Fox will be up for it.
Nah. Well, he wasn't in the second one anyway.
Yeah.
Very good point. Very good point.
Recast.
So would you say Leprechaun's your favorite scary movie of all time? What, and if not, what is? Well, you're flipping through the channels and you got to set the remote down.
It's Halloween for me, 1978, always for that. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's always, if it's on, I'm watching it. I get captivated into it. It's probably the one I revisit the most. Even franchise-wise, it's probably the one I revisit the most, for whatever reason. I enjoy it. I think the mood is great. I love the character. But like I said, as a horror fan, it's really tough. I even fell in love recently. Well, now it's about 7 or so years, maybe 10 years. I hated Halloween 3 as a kid. Hated it.
Yeah.
And now I love
Everyone
it.
did. Now everyone did.
I love it. And obviously this has been said. If they would have called it Season of the Witch, it would have been so successful then. But because everyone was waiting for Michael Myers, because they set something up that we all had loved, and then you just take it away from us.
Yeah, we actually talked about that on our first podcast about how that was universally hated, but as you grow up, you appreciate it more because you understand it more.
But it's so the movie, it's got a great Halloween feel. The atmosphere in that movie, the music in that movie, it's honestly feels more Halloween than Halloween the original, in the sense of showing the masks and the trick-or-treating and the kids and the candy, meaning in that aspect of it.
Oh,
And Tom Atkins is incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and he's somebody I'd love to work with too. We tried to get him in stream actually. We did, but scheduling didn't work out. But he's somebody that I would love to work with.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps is one of my favorite movies.
Right, and that's
love that movie. Love that movie.
I just saw probably during COVID. Never saw it.
Really?
Never saw it, and
that's one of my favorite movies.
It's one of mine now too. I never saw it, and I said, I was again stuck in the house like everybody else, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Tom Atkins' work across the board. I can't believe I'd never seen it. I've always known of it. She finally says, I gotta watch Night of the Creeps, and I sat down and watched it, and I had such a ball with that movie. I had such a good time, and I recommend it to everyone, when they're looking for a get in the mood, watch a fun horror film, especially around October. I'm like, you gotta watch Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, and that's absolutely one of my favorites.
Here's an oddball question. We're going to talk about Adam Sandler's take on Halloween. Did you watch Hubie Halloween? What'd you think of it if you did?
I did. So here's my thought of it. I liked the world that they set up of Halloween. Right. I think it was very, very, very genuine in how Halloween should feel and portrayed. They had the feeling down right. Problem with the movie for me was I didn't like Adam Sandler in it, actually.
My kid was literally just watching it upstairs. That's what made me think about it. But they watch it on rerun.
Yeah, look, I was a fan of Halloween Town growing up too. I was I the Goosebumps and the You're Afraid of the Darks and Halloween. I was in that age when that was all popping. And I said, I like the movies that give the feel. There's a movie with Christopher Lloyd called When Good Ghouls Go Bad. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It is another one that really sets the tone and captures Halloween, the spirit of it, the fun of it in a movie. It encapsulates it. Hubie Halloween does do that for this generation, but Adam Sandler, if he would have just been a normal, just Adam Sandler kind of role and not that silly, that over the top that he does, and I think he really did well in Billy Madison, maybe.
Right.
It just, for me, was, you didn't need that. And it kind of made the movie a joke, silly, as opposed to being something really cool.
Yeah. My kids freaking loved it. That's what made me think about it. They were upstairs watching it.
So funny. Yeah. I mean, look, I'll still watch it, because it does set a good
Shaq Shaq killed me in it. That voice, Shaq's
Oh, yeah.
voice, that was so funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Adam needed to be the straight man. He had all the silly characters around him. Like even
Yes.
what's his face was incredible in that. Ray Liotta was
Oh,
really
yeah,
good
Ray.
in that. He was like perfect. Like you didn't need Adam to do what
The over the top Adam.
Yeah, you just didn't
Yeah.
need that. I don't think. But again, who am I?
Yeah.
Hey, they need you guys on the sequel.
Right.
And then with Adam, you tone it down a little, Adam.
That'd be fun.
We could see it. Oh,
We talked to your brother about the creation of Fuzz on the Lens, the name, how obviously you and him know each other. You shared a womb at one point. So, I mean, you came from the same place. But how did you and Steve Delasala, how did you and Steve Delasala meet?
So it's funny. I went to grammar school with Steve, but we were in We were in the same grade, but we were in two different classes. So I was in like he was in one, I was in two, or A and B, however they did it. And then we went to high school. We went to the same high school, and we were in the same homeroom. And because of that, because of knowing each other somewhat from grade school, grammar school, we were like, okay, I know you, you know me. We just started talking, and then we had found out that each other's love for movies and cinema, and so we just kind of gotten close through that at first. And then I was always doing short films and movies and stuff in my house, but I started to do them for high school, and he was really interested in photography and lighting and all of that. So he started shooting them, and then we started writing them together. And then I joined my high school television studio with my brother, and Steve would do everything with us there. And then we ended up at the same college, not on purpose. And we just continued again, kind of working together. And then finally, in like 2010, we started calling each other Fuzz and Lens because of the story I'm sure Jason told you about.
Yeah.
And then we legalized calling ourselves that in like 2013 or 2012, and that's when we said, we're going to do this as a career, and we started doing short films and music videos and so on and so forth.
well, we love what you guys do. Another one we watched was Halloween 60. Back to the Halloween.
Yeah.
Loved it, man. It's fucking hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun project. That was one again that, as a fan, it was something that I think was on everyone's mind. Like, even though we love Halloween and we'll all watch Halloween 100, it was like, this is getting a little ridiculous in the sense of like, how old is he supposed to be? And so we had fun with it. And if again, real Halloween fans will pick up on some of the dialogue of like, weren't you his sister? Well, I was his sister, but then that was a rumor, and then we got rid of that whole. We kind of poked fun at that, but we had a blast. We had a script to do the other two. We were going to do Halloween pills, and then we were going to do Halloween Depends. But through COVID and through working on the Terrifiers, and then obviously Stream, it just kept going to the back burner, and unfortunately, it was never actualized. But we were ready to go. And it would have maybe one day we'll revisit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Dude, it would be
I think it needs to happen.
It does. It was so funny.
It's enjoyable.
What's your worst out of the Halloween franchise?
The worst one. Rob Zombie Halloween 2.
Yes.
Agree.
Yes. Agreed.
Is it
I just
because
think
Sherry was back in it?
I just think that they went too far off of what
Off the source material. Yeah, they got.
And look, I get Rob Zombie wanted to do his own thing, but then you should have made a different movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think the movie itself, like how it's done, is bad. I just don't like the story. I don't like seeing half of Michael's face the whole time. It's not scary. It gets bizarre at some points, like really far out there. That again, it just leaves the source material so much that, like, as a fan, I felt robbed in that sense. And then obviously there's other ones that you can kind of, and there's always a debate, which I like too, that you could always debate on which ones are the best and which ones are the worst and which ones are in between. And sometimes on the day it depends too. I've switched them on the day and said, I like this one a little bit.
I switched too. Worst mask though will always be 4 for me. I hated that mask in 4.
I didn't like 4. Actually, worst mask for me is 5.
5's pretty bad too.
Yeah, 4 was a little better than 5 because at least 4 had a reason to be bad, which was he just picked it up at a cheap gas station and grabbed it, and it made
That
it
is
real
true.
from there. Where 5 was just supposed to be the continuation, you just botched it really from
That's the only thing Rob did do in the movies. Besides the whole one, the other masks were pretty good, I thought.
yeah.
But Ends was the worst. But
Yeah, ends with this. Here's the problem with ends. Again, here's the thing with ends. They marketed it wrong. They told you it was going to be the final showdown between Michael and Laurie, and I would have liked an hour and a half of them fighting and stalking. That would have been a way better movie, and
Right.
that's kind of what we wanted. But especially the last time they meet, and they honestly, she should have sacrificed herself with him to kill him, so they both die.
Yep.
That I think would have had fans excited, and I want to see like Terrifier 2's ending with Sienna and Art, like Laurie and Michael just going at it. And we didn't get that. We got a kitchen fight for 2 seconds,
Right.
and then she slits his wrists. And again, the Corey Cunningham idea isn't horrible. It's just that wasn't an ending to this trilogy or this franchise. That's a startup for a new era of this thing. So
Yeah.
it's like they skipped that last final where they should have
Okay.
done something conclusive, and then if they wanted to try something different, open up that Corey Cunningham story.
Well, apparently they had something like that, and at the end, his mask was supposed to get burned, and then at the factory from Halloween 3, and then go into all the other masks, infecting all the children like it did Corey. But I guess it didn't test well.
Right. That's
But the other one tested great, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I would have preferred it the other way.
Yeah, they should have just added and got rid of the whole thing and just added another like 2 hours of just them stalking and fighting.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Michael stalking Laurie for the first half hour, 40 minutes of the movie, and then a huge epic battle at the end, like even bigger than H2O, bigger than what he was doing in Kills, like just them two, boom, like that would have just been fun at least.
I just didn't like how they made him seem not as boogeyman-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't the boogeyman anymore. He was just an old man.
Right, that's what he was too human, especially after how superhuman they made him in Kills.
Exactly.
Him this crazy, yeah. My God! And now all of a sudden he's like withering away. It's like it's they didn't have a clear cut direction on what they wanted to do. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
You're gonna make better movies
You're
in
gonna
the independent realm and bring it all back to the real
We're
horror
gonna make more
fans.
streams and more Terrifier movies.
That's exactly
Yes.
what we want.
We are chomping at the bit for more of all of it. Like you guys are doing just wonderful work.
I told your brother we want to be in stream too. If you guys
There
need
you go.
extras,
Bro, let's cast.
Need
we will
extras,
come
we'll fly
on
out.
in. We'll do whatever
love
you
it.
guys need us to do.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're working hard on it, and it's it's you guys having us on and doing this and spreading the word and talking about it. The reviews are really great. They really, really are through the roof. Like it's really humbling to see how well the people who have seen it are responding to it and talking about it. There's a Facebook group on that was formed. It's at Join the Stream, and there's like over 3,000 people that are just excited about it and sharing. They're getting tattoos, and they just ordered. We dropped Terror Thread shirts today that
Yep, I saw those.
that are like going nuts. So it's really, really, really cool to see kind of what's happening. And again, we saw it with Terrifier, and it's cool to to see it happening with Stream. And like I said, I'm just super excited to see if we get a sequel where we can take this thing. And like I said, we have so many really cool ideas that I think you guys would really love.
Yeah, we can looking forward to it.
We really are. Once people see it, everyone's gonna love that movie, man. It's instant horror classic.
Do you
in
guys
my
have a
opinion.
date when you're going to start streaming yet, or ballpark?
We're hoping for right now because it was extended in some of the theaters. It kind of like
Pushes
you had to
dates.
wait for it to end, and so yeah, so we're hoping for mid-October.
That'd be great.
Like around the 20th, because Terrifier comes out the 11th, so we'd like to come out a little after that, so Terrifier can do its thing, and then obviously, hopefully, when people are excited about Terrifier and want to see something else from us, they'll say, "Oh yeah, Stream! I didn't get to catch it in theaters. It's now, I can watch it from the comfort of my own couch. Let me pop that in and check it out." And so that's the hope. We're aiming towards that. Unfortunately, it's not totally up to us. It's up to some of the powers that be. But that's what we're working towards. And I'd love it to be out the 15th. But we'll see. It's looking like the 20th, around that at least. But
Okay.
it will be fall. Fingers crossed it's October. I think it has to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. And again, if you guys haven't yet, please rate it on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd. You have no idea how helpful that is to spread the word and how many people actually go and check that out and see if it's something that they'll be interested in looking at. So it's really,
Yeah, you guys were up to what, 77 on IMDb?
yeah, we were in the top 100, number 77 of most popular films, which is so cool. And and we'll see that. Like I said, it's growing. More and more people are learning about it. It's just right now, if you're not in the areas of where it's showing, which is even more limited than what it was when we came out, it's tough to keep that momentum going because, again, they don't have access to see it. So once it's out on the streaming, I'm pretty sure that through the word of mouth, it'll definitely reach the masses for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up as soon as it hits streaming.
It really will. I think so too. 'Cause it's you got everything you need. I mean, really, everything a horror fan would need is in that movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
got the touch of classic too. I just love it.
I appreciate it. It means a lot that you guys, were able to go out and see it and obviously supporting us with it. And again, it helps us to continue to do this. It helps us be able to make more films like Terrifier, like Stream, and it's because of you guys. It's because of our fans, our supporters. So it means a lot. So thank you.
What other projects do you have like in the works, or at least ideas, things looking down the road that you want to start working on?
So obviously we have Screamboat coming out in January. And then, like I said, I'm hoping we have the ideas for Stream 2. I'm hoping we can get that going. I know there will be a Terrifier 4. Damien has said that. Again, I don't know when that might happen. We're kind of leaving every option open right now because there's so much happening that it's like, which route is the best one to go at the time of when we decide to go. I have some comedies too, like some really fun comedies and even horror comedies, like strange stuff that I'd love to do one day. And, we have some cool scripts on. So again, I'm kind of leaving.
Abnormal attractions too.
Yeah. But in the same vein, just a little more haunted housey, I should say.
Okay. Yeah.
But we have some really fun ideas, and again, it's just a matter of right now we're leaving our options open to see how things fall with Stream, how things fall with Terrifier, and then some other things we have in the works. We have a movie called The Pitchfork Retreat that's we shot last summer, and we finished up some of it this summer. That'll be coming out next year. It's got a great cast as well. It's got some of the Stream people. It's got Danielle Harris is in it. Tony Todd is in it. Great role Tony Todd has.
Anything with Tony's good.
Dee Wallace is in it, and Terry Kaiser. So those are like the Stream people. But then we have also Andrew Devoff is in it, and he's the Wishmaster. So it's got a really cool, cast of people, and it's got a really interesting story. It's more A24 kind of elevated horror style. So it's something I've never really done. So that was cool to jump on board. The writer director is a really, really good, intelligent filmmaker, and this was like his first big feature of like trying to get something off the ground. So it was nice to help him out and jump on board with it, do something different.
Did you help produce that as well?
Yeah, produced it. Steve Villasala was the cinematographer on that. I was the assistant director. We took some of our Terrifier Stream people over to help him out and help get this thing off the ground. It's a cool story. That again, it's one of those horrors where you think, and you can kind of fill in the blanks of yourself, and there's some debates that can happen with it. You know what I mean? So it's got some cool graphic stuff in it as well. It's not all elevated horror, so to speak. There are some fun graphic stuff. And again, it's just challenging myself and doing something different, and again doing a story that I think is fun.
Sounds fun.
We'll have to check it out.
Definitely.
Yep. 2025. Be in the lookout. Pitchfork Retreat.
Heck yeah. And we heard you say haunted house in there. We are actually doing a haunted house at a real haunted house
Oh wow.
here in Indianapolis.
There's a haunted house. It's a 160-year-old haunted mansion here on the south side called the Hannah House. And it is considered one of the most paranormally active places in the entire state. And we are actually bringing back the commercial haunt. They used to do a haunted house there over a decade ago, and they stopped doing it. And our company, Let's Talk Horror, is actually putting on the haunt this year for the first time in, I think, 12 years.
Oh, that's awesome. So why did they stop doing it? Was it just Was it like
I don't really know. It's still in the same family, but it has recently changed management, and the people that used to run the house got away from it for whatever reason. And the guy who's running it now, we approached him, and yeah, we made the pitch. Or actually, he made the pitch.
I made the pitch. It's like, hey, the least I can say is no.
Yeah, that's exciting. When do you launch that? When's it start?
The last weekend of September. We're just doing Fridays and Saturdays through the first weekend of November because Halloween's on a Thursday. How lame. But yeah, it's gonna be just those weekends for those 6 weeks, just a 12-night run, and we're bringing it back. People are really excited because people remember the old haunt that they used to go to growing up.
I used to go to it there.
Yeah, around here, people are like, "Oh, I love that place. I remember going as a kid," and we're bringing it back. So we get to bring a little bit of that nostalgia horror to our own local area, and people are really excited about it. We've been working our butt off trying to get it together, rehabbing a 160-year-old mansion to, get props and stuff and lighting, and it's a big undertaking.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. And I know it's like it's its own project, it's its own feature film. It's a lot of work, but that's really, really cool that you guys are doing that. That's awesome. It's very cool. I can't wait to hear how it goes down.
You're welcome to come out and check it out if you happen to be in the Midwest sometime in October. We'll give you a VIP tour.
Listen, you never know. I could be doing a couple of conventions, and if I'm out that way, 100%, I would 100%.
Definitely hit us up. We would be honored to have you.
Oh yeah,
very cool. Very cool.
That'd be great.
We'll take you out for drinks too after.
Yeah, for real. We'll make it a night.
I have to twist my arm.
We're the fun bunch.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We know how to party, that's for sure.
You ask him the same question you asked his brother?
Yeah. Who is the funnest person to party with at the cons that you've partied with? That you wouldn't think that would be a partier.
Like a celebrity?
Yeah.
Did he say Felissa Rose?
That's exactly who he said. That's exactly who he said.
It made us regret not going and hanging out with her more when we were at the Day of the Dead here in Indy.
She's a riot. She's a lot of fun. They're all like Damien's great to hang out with and have a lot of fun with. I'd like to consider myself a good one to hang out with. But out of the celebrities, let me think. Like other than Felissa, because he said her. Who's really cool to hang out with too? Alex Vincent from the Chucky. He's a lot of fun to hang out with for sure.
I actually hung out with him a little bit at Days of the Dead this year, and he signed my daughter's. It was my daughter's first con she ever went to. She got her first piece of merch, and it was a little bookmark with a scene from where Chucky is got Andy knocked out and doing the "I do it and blah," and like we went over and saw Alex Vincent, and there was no one around, and she said, "Hey, he's got one of these pictures that's just like my bookmark." And I kind of looked at him, we were chatting, and I was like, "It's her first con." He signed it, took a photo with her and everything. He was really cool about it and everything. And she came home, was so excited, and just watched all the Chucky movies like on loop for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. And also from Terrifier 2, Selfie Guy.
Hung out with Rick. Yeah, we hung out with Rick. Bought a couple masks from him and everything.
Yeah, he's the man. He's a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, I told him I'll be up there in Chicago when he comes for days up there. And so, yeah, we need to get together again. He was a good guy.
Also, yeah, he's a great guy. Great, genuine person for sure.
It was a lot of fun. I was plastered at the indie event. He let us in. He's like, "Come on in, guys." Okay.
Yeah, he was the host for the VIP party that night. So with all the
you were there too, weren't you? Indy?
Yeah, I was in Indy Days of the Dead.
Yeah. 4th of July weekend. Yeah.
Was I at that one? I was there. Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, I was there.
He was there with Stream. I don't remember if it was you or your brother. I was definitely. We had a lot of shit going on. We had our own booth going on too.
Yeah, I was definitely there because I flew out the 5th morning because it was the 4th. 4th of July was on a Thursday. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. We were very drunk. We probably met. I was very drunk if we did. I don't remember.
Might have been.
I talk to everyone when I do get drunk, but I don't remember half the time. But we definitely were over drinking.
Yeah, a lot of time spent with the Revenge of the Nerd cast and Rick that night.
Ogre's so much fun.
Ogre's
so much fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was, and then he had the part. They all rapped on the stage and they did the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good weekend. So yeah, we're looking forward to going up to Chicago again too. So
that's right when the haunt will be over. So we might just have to. I might just have to. Daniel's already going.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it too.
Very cool. Yeah. That's in November? Yeah, that's in November.
Yeah, that one's in November.
Yeah.
Should be a good time. We're already booked for next year here at Days too. If you guys end up coming in there, we'll have a good time. We'll meet up.
Yeah.
Right, Days likes to bring us in. I like Bill and everybody over there, and always have a good time at Days. I'd like to get out to the Vegas one they do for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice too.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do though. I've done the Atlanta, I've done the Indianapolis one. There's another one I think I did. Yeah, there the Indianapolis. So hopefully we'll get to the other ones. We'll see.
Yeah, we booked our tables for that next year again already, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's the first time actually being there with a booth instead of just going for fun.
Yeah,
made a little different.
Big difference. Big difference.
But very, very good time.
Met a lot of fun people. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's always great.
That's what it's all about, really.
Outside of the slasher genre, what other favorite subgenres of horror do you have? I mean, are you like a monster guy, vampire guy, like you into the psychological stuff, possession, demons? Like
The demon possession's probably my next, for sure. I'm a big fan, me and my wife, of the Conjuring. The first one really enjoyed a lot. I really like Mike Flanagan's Haunting a Hill House, that television show on Netflix.
That's great.
Yeah, the possession for sure, or the demons, whatever you want to call it, is definitely my next go-to in the horror world.
Have you seen Nefarious?
Why does it sound familiar?
It came out last year, maybe even the year before. It's got Sean Patrick Flannery in it, the guy who played Powder, and he's a prison inmate.
Yeah,
and he's possessed, and they're getting ready to execute him.
They're interrogating him in the
to see if he's crazy or if he's really possessed. Yeah, that movie's really good.
It is very good, and that's another one of those ones where like it's like focused and like the table like right there.
Yeah, it's just two dudes in a room.
Yes, that was good. I saw that. Yeah.
It's very intense. I've been trying to get these guys to watch it. It's great. It's great. I was really impressed. It was one of those things like, what is this? And I saw the little trailer of it. And it's like, I'll check it out. I ended up really liking it, making my wife watch it, making my kids watch it. Like, come here to watch this movie.
That's how it works, though. That's how the word of mouth goes, and that's how some of these films get noticed. Especially, and that's what it is with horror. You can have a movie that comes out, and then months or years later, it can get picked up and discovered because it just wasn't right time, right place, and then all of a sudden. So it's like it's very cool how the horror genre works for independent filmmakers. And for sure now, just of what we had done with Terrifier is really cool. How it kind of opened up even more so for theatrical releases for indie. That's something I'm super proud of.
It's my daughter's favorite movie. She watches it on loop, like both of them, constantly.
That's cool.
It is great. I love it. I can't wait to see number 3. And I've asked your brother about a rumor we heard about people vomiting while filming. And he
it was somebody. They didn't vomit, but they almost got very sick. Well, they did. They got sick. They didn't vomit, but it was true. It is true. And the person that you think it is, it was.
I can't wait to see that scene. Can't wait.
It's very disturbing. It's very crazy and very mean-spirited. That's all I'll say on it.
You should sell barf bags. You should sell barf bags, little merch barf bags.
Phil's doing that. Phil's got a bunch.
Oh, is he?
Bags. Yeah. It's cool.
That's great promo.
He travels into the conventions. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like airplane barf bags would be. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, he's definitely a hell of a character. We was talking about him on our clown episode we did. How art has just paved the way. The past few years, he's everywhere.
Yeah, he's the guy for this generation. Like Ghostface was in the 90s, and Jason, Freddy, Michael, they all had their art's up there. Like he is. Like that's the new dude. That's the current guy. He's gonna go down in horror history. He really is.
Yeah, it's insane to even hear you say that. Like I see it, we always used to say it was we felt it was imposter syndrome. You can't say that. Like these guys have been around. These were our idols and people we loved watching. And now it's like, yeah, I see it. I do see it now. It's art is everywhere. It's kind of beyond us now. It's beyond Damien. It's taking on a life of its own.
Absolutely.
I was with Heather Langenkamp recently, and she said her and Robert were discussing how like this is the same kind of thing that happened with Freddie when he was blowing up more internationally and pop culturally. except it happened a little slower because the internet now was able to speed up,
Yeah.
a little bit, which is so cool. It's so humbling, and I'm so happy for everybody involved with it, and Damien, and it's just really awesome to be involved in something like that. I don't think I ever thought I would be involved with something that meant so much to people and kind of changed the game of horror.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a game changer, and we were talking. Is there room for it? There's definitely room for it.
Yeah,
especially with
there's
that.
always room for it, and you guys are killing it. Like you
There
guys,
was no good clowns besides Pennywise, really.
yeah, and I mean
Killer
Pennywise,
clowns from outer space, but they were kind of funny.
but all of that it's kind of dated. It's kind of lost its freshness. They can do remakes or whatever, but this is something new, something fresh, something for this generation to identify with. Like the next, my kids love horror. They're gonna have these childhood memories of Art and his hacksaw, and his bag of goodies. They're gonna remember that when they're our age. They're gonna be telling their kids and sitting their kids down and watching these movies. They really are, and I can't wait for them to see stream when it starts streaming. They're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
have a
all
party.
about that too. It's you guys are really doing something special here. I don't know if you realize,
Especially with having a female in there too. The little girls are gonna love it.
Yeah.
My little girls are gonna love it. His little girls are gonna love it
Thank you.
because they can dress up like one now.
We worked hard, and again, just trying to make things that we want to see, and hopefully we'll be able to get that sequel, and again, just keep delivering on fun, creative, new, fresh stuff that us as all horror fans are yearning for. There is plenty of room. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want more cool, crazy horror icons or killers or movies or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me. You know what I mean? Like,
You keep making them, and we'll keep watching them.
Oh, we will.
Like, I thought it was cool what they did within a Violent Nature. You know what I mean? Whatever you think about the movie, I thought it was a cool concept of like following the killer. It got a little boring at certain points just because how does it not? But I thought it was, a really cool concept, and they did it. They went out and did it. It's something new that we're talking about, and not just the same stuff.
If you want to gauge Fuzz on the Lens and your whole company and everybody you work with, your impact, just go out Halloween night and look at people's costumes. I guarantee you're going to see arts. I guarantee you're going to see player ones, twos, threes. You're going to see all of that. You're going to see little pale girls coming up and ringing doorbells and wanting candy. You are. And that's something very special. And I applaud all you guys for doing it. You're making your mark, and I'm thoroughly impressed. And I don't know if you can see it because you're so close to it. This is a movie you did, and you're trying to you are leaving a lasting impact right now, whether you realize it or not. You really are.
Thank you. That means a lot, because we work very hard, and it's hard to sometimes separate yourself from the tunnel that you're in. And, so that means a lot when we hear, people like yourself say that stuff. I mean, I'm still blown away when I see art tattoos. Somebody just posted, they sent me a buddy of mine sent me the text that she's getting a player 2 tattoo. And she talks about how she identified.
I'm gonna get a player 1.
Yeah,
It's coming. It's coming.
Player 1.
I got Myers on this whole arm, and
There you
this one
go.
just Scream right
I
now, and a
cannot
little touch
wait.
of Vader.
I would be so. I mean, Jason would be on it. I'd be on it. I would love to see that. There's already been like somebody's got a stream tattoo. Somebody's doing a player 3. Somebody's now doing a 2. I've heard there might be a 4. Now you're saying a 1. I can't wait to see if this all happens. It's very cool.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It'll be in November after this haunt's over because we're so freaking busy with that.
I understand. Tag me as soon as you have it. I'm sharing it everywhere.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. If there's anything we can ever do to help you guys out, just reach out. We will jump at any opportunity. We're big fans of your work. We're big fans of what you're doing. We support the horror community, the horror culture. I mean, we have a whole podcast and a whole company dedicated to everything horror related. And it's an honor for you to be on. Your brother coming on, like, it's really great. And we're really humbled that you took the time out of your day, especially with how busy you are, to come out and talk to us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Sure. And thank you for having me on. Thank you for having Jason on. Thank you for coming out and seeing the movie.
Tell Steve to get on.
I will. He's tough. You think his workload's like double right now. But I will. As soon as things calm down, because he needs to see this too. He's very, just in it and doesn't get to experience. At least I get to talk with fans and podcasts and people and make friends that like he doesn't get to do as often. So I'll let him know that you're definitely interested, and it'd be nice.
Definitely want him.
Yeah.
Want him on. I'll shoot him a message, or if you just want to give my email and tell him, just let me know whenever he wants to come on. We'll have him on.
Will. I will.
That way we'll get the whole hat trick of the whole
There
Fuzz
you
on the
go.
Lens there.
You'll get his how Fuzz and Lens formed, and he'll go, everything those guys just said was bullshit.
I listened to your podcast, the Fuzz on the Mic.
Oh
and
yeah.
Very first episode, I'm sorry, I got to side with Steve. Toilet paper over the top. Toilet paper over the top.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the original
we've been so busy, but we have more episodes that we want to do, and hopefully, soon we'll be able to get back to them because I had so much fun doing that, and it was nice. We got to meet up once a week and just kind of just talk and not have to worry so much about the movies and all the work stuff. So that was a lot of fun, and a lot of people tuned in and enjoyed it. So I appreciate that.
No problem. I just had to call you out on that. It's over the top. If you look at the original patent, it's over the top. Toilet paper's over the top.
That's what everyone tells me. It's
Well,
such a
thank you.
perfect invention that it could go either way and work just as well.
Yeah, that's your brother's stance. He don't care.
Awesome.
Either way does the job.
Right.
But the real question is forward or backward on the swipe.
Right. We'll dive into that one soon.
Oh shit.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. Like, it's been great.
It has, man. Thank you. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let me know when this airs and I'll share it up. And thank you so much for having me. It means a lot. And again, anybody who hasn't, please, if you've seen stream, go out on IMDb, Letterboxd, and Rotten Tomatoes, and rate it, review it, and of course, if you haven't seen it, put it on your watch list and get ready to see it when it hits streaming in the fall.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to see it again.
We're gonna buy
I'm
it.
sure it'll be on loop at my house again, just like art is.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.